Hi everyone, welcome to this week's new video at Visiting the Dutch Countryside. For the ones who are new here, my name is Manon and I am Dutch. And at Visiting the Dutch Countryside you'll be discovering the Netherlands beyond the crowds with your favorite local. Which is, me. Anyway, in this week's video you will be exploring the province of Limburg, which is found in the south of the Netherlands. So yeah, let's head into the video. The province of Limburg is found in the southeastern part of the Netherlands and has been a province since 1867, which makes it one of the youngest provinces in the Netherlands after Flevoland, which has only been a province since 1960. The capital of Limburg is the city of Maastricht, which is also one of the oldest cities in the Netherlands, and the entire province of Limburg is roughly home to 1.1 million people, which makes it kind of an average sized province, but the density in the south is really dense. So in the south of Limburg you can find more people than in the center and the north of Limburg combined. So yeah, that says something. Limburg is very famous for its southern part because it's basically called the Tuscany of the Netherlands and it's really beautiful. It has a landscape that goes from meadows and things like that to hilly regions and stuff like that. It's a really beautiful area. The landscape changes massively from north to south, and you might notice if you look on a map you will see that Limburg is a really long province, but that's because of the Meuse River, which flows through Limburg as well. And so the borders of the province of Limburg, they basically follow the Meuse River. The province of Limburg borders the provinces of Gelderland and Noord-Brabant. Gelderland in the north and Noord-Brabant on the west. East-west. But yeah, so Noord-Brabant on the western side, and then you've got Germany on the eastern side as well as on the south, and you've got Belgium on the southwest. Limburg is also home to maybe a new official language in the Netherlands. So there's a lot of dialects in Limburg. There's one language that is spoken by quite a lot of people. So they speak Limburgs or Limburgese in English, I believe. But anyway, it looks like it might become the third official language in the Netherlands after Dutch and Frisian. But we'll see. Hopefully. As Limburg is located in the south of the Netherlands, it's also the region where the Catholics are in the majority. So, ever since the late Roman times, Christianity has already been influenced there, and north of the rivers you will see that a lot of people were Protestant and Catholicism isn't as popular as in the south due to history, the Spanish, blah blah blah. It's a lot. So, but yeah, that's also the reason why one of the most important holidays for the south is Carnival. Carnival is massive in the south, and it's called Vastelovend in Limburg. I'll probably pronounce it somewhat wrong, but yeah, Vastelovend. But yeah, so Carnival is the absolute highlight of the year in Limburg. And it's not Carnival as in, Brazil or Trinidad, but it's Carnival in the Dutch way. And in this case in the more specific way, Limburg's way. So tourism is already quite important in Limburg, so Dutch people love to go to Limburg because it's a different area than what you can usually see in the country. Meaning most people that visit Limburg go to the south, to the hilly regions. In fact, Valkenburg has already been a tourist mecca since the end of the 19th century in the Netherlands. But Valkenburg is not the only popular place to visit. Maastricht, the capital of Limburg, is really popular as well. obviously because it's the capital and there's a lot of things to do and it's a beautiful city and one of the oldest cities in the country. Yeah, in Maastricht there are roughly 1.2 million overnight stays every year, which means that it's the fourth busiest city after Amsterdam, Rotterdam and The Hague. Yeah, it can be busy, but I've never found Maastricht really crowded unless it's Carnival. But that's when the whole province is just going wild. So even though Maastricht gets quite a lot of visitors, it's nothing major. There are some foods in Limburg that are quite popular there and that are also popular with the rest of the Netherlands, but you know, it comes from there. But one of the things that you cannot miss when you're in Limburg is to try asparagus. Limburg is basically the asparagus province of the country. And whether you like white asparagus or the green ones, I prefer the green ones, it has more flavor. But yeah, I would really recommend you to try asparagus when you're in Limburg because they taste amazing. Then there's something else that's called zuurvlees, which is, when you translate it, it's sour meat, but it's kind of a sweet sour dish. And it was traditionally made with horse meat and things like that. But nowadays it's mostly beef or something else. But yeah, it's really delicious. People often eat it with fries. So then you just have it's a stew basically, it's a meat stew. Really delicious. So you eat it with fries and it's incredible. You can eat it, you know, all over the province essentially. Something else that you cannot miss when you're in the province of Limburg is to try Limburgse fly, which is a sort of pie, sort of fruit pie basically. It's incredible. The best pie, the best fly basically that I've ever had was in a village in the south of Limburg. And it was a rhubarb and pear fly, and it was really hot summer day, so it was perfect because it was so fresh and so refreshing, cooling, and amazing. But yeah, you must try it. And you can also, I will link to a video that I've created about things you can do in Maastricht here, because in that video I will actually tell you where you can make your own fly in a bakery that specializes in them in Maastricht. So definitely do that if you can, because it's so cool, it's really nice, and of course you can take the fly home, which we all want. But that's not all that Limburg has to offer, because Limburg is also very famous for its beers. So it has a lot of regional beers such as Hertog Jan, Gulpener, but so many smaller breweries come from there as well. And beer is not the only alcoholic that they're good at in the south, because wine from Limburg is really, really good. In fact, one of the things that you absolutely need to do in Limburg is to go on a sort of wine road trip. You know, you will drive past some wineries and things like that. You will head into the wineries, you will do a tasting, you will buy some extra bottles, nice souvenir. But yeah, it's really fun because you won't think of the Netherlands as a wine country, but when you're in Limburg, absolutely do not miss out on the wine. And Limburg is not just famous for wine and beers, but also for famous people. So I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but Pierre Cuypers, who designed the Rijksmuseum and the train station of Amsterdam and so many other buildings in the Netherlands, he's actually from Limburg. Max Verstappen, the Formula 1 driver, is from Limburg. Mark van Bommel, the former footballer, is from Limburg. And so many other people. And, you know, a travel guide about a province wouldn't be a travel guide if I wouldn't include beautiful places to visit. So, places that I would recommend you to visit are, well, a lot. So, I've just created a bit of a smaller list, so it's easier for you, because it's really difficult if I'm just mentioning 30 places to visit and you're like, oh my god, what do I need to visit? So, what you need to visit? Maastricht, obviously. And then you've got the town of Thorn, which is a white town, small town. It's really beautiful. You've got the city of Roermond, You've got Ice and Noorbeek. Those surroundings are really good for the hills of Limburg. They have beautiful viewing points all over. Absolutely recommend it. Then you've got the village of Elslo and Kessel, as well as Gulpen, where you can try the Gulpener beer. And you have cities such as Venlo, Sittard, Heerlen. Yeah, and I would also recommend you to visit Arken, which has beautiful, beautiful castle gardens. Do that, absolutely. The province of Limburg is also filled with incredible museums. So, for instance, the Peel Museum, which is found in the town of America, which is about the region of the Peel and how people used to live there, things like that. Really interesting. You've got the Thermen Museum in Heerlen, which is about the Roman times. And then you've got the Limburgs Museum in Venlo, which is all about the province of Limburg, obviously. And the Bonnefanz Museum in Maastricht, which has incredible sculptures. And there are also really cool open air museums spread out all throughout the province. So I will just name a few. So I would recommend you to visit Openluchtmuseum de Locht, as well as Eindhoven. Yeah, and in these open air museums you will discover typical crafts that they used to do here or still do, the way people used to live, things like that. And it really differs a lot per region and city how people used to live. So no matter if you visit one in the north or one in the middle, one in the south, it will all be different. And that's not all that Limburg has to offer. We're still not done. No, because Limburg is also home to some of the most incredible nature in the country. It is home to 3 national parks, the Grote Peel, the Mijnweg and Maasduinen, but it is also home to other incredible nature reserves such as the Brunsumer Heide, and it is home to a beautiful area that is called the Geuldal and so much more. You know, you've got floodplains in the river and then nature reserves next to that, near the Meuse rivers and stuff like that. No matter where you visit in Limburg, honestly, it's really hard to be disappointed in this province. Yeah, especially if you follow my tips, of course. So yeah, everyone, that was it for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you've got some extra tips on things to visit in the province of Limburg and that you've learned something about the province as well. Because that's the goal, you know, learning, exploring. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe with the little notification bell so you won't miss any of my other upcoming videos. And I will see you next time.